My 2018 reading goal is to read 50 books. I read 10 books in January and need to reevaluate my goals. The first book I read this year was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. It is a young adult science fiction book that is packed with references to 1980s pop culture. My full review is linked down in the Chamber of Secrets. My second book of 2018 is Ms. Marvel Volume 8 Mecha by G. Willow Wilson. Ms. Marvel is one of my favorite superheroes, and seeing her previous villains team up to try and take her down was exhilarating. Ms. Marvel faces Hydra, government corruption, and the radicalization of young men in her community in this latest volume, and I loved every second of it. I'm not going to do a full review of it though, or of any of the other comics that I read, so you'll probably only be hearing about them in my wrap-up videos. Back to novels, I was lucky enough to receive an e-arc of The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and it was seriously creepy. I mean, it's perfect for anyone who enjoys horror movies, fairy tales, and appreciate a good cover design. But that person isn't me. I've released my full review on my channel already, links in the Chamber of Secrets, and an update. This book is now available for purchase. If you're into this sort of thing, I hope you check it out and that you really love it. The fourth book I read was Warcross by Marie Lu. It's another young adult sci-fi novel. I hear there's a sequel in the works, and as much as I loved it, I probably won't read the sequel. My full review was literally my last video, and I think you should check it out. Switching back to graphic novels, I read The Legend of Korra, Turf Wars #1 by Michael Dante DiMartino. Digitally, it took me literally an hour. I was really excited to read this. It chronicles all the events immediately following the series finale of Legend of Korra. It has these beautiful, great action scenes, beautiful depictions of the spirit world, diplomacy, and it is just so wonderfully and amazingly by. I love it so much. My sixth book is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. When I started this book, I realized, oh wow, I'm reading a lot of science fiction. The Diabolic is about a genetically engineered bodyguard for an aristocrat in a post-Earth universe. The story is about interplanetary travel where science and religion are pitted against each other, and is actually a political drama narrated by someone who allegedly has no feelings. It was a very average science fiction book, and I will do a full review. I haven't gotten it to you yet because I'm still not sure how I feel about this book. The last graphic novel I read in January was actually chosen via Twitter poll. Thank you for voting. It is Spider-Man Miles Morales Volume 1 by Brian Michael Bendis. I read the origin story for Miles Morales last year. That was actually in the Ultimate Universe and has ended. So I just picked up the first volume of his new storyline, and I really liked it. It deals with representation in media, the value of trust in relationships, and also gold balls is in it, which was cool. As much as I love science fiction and superheroes, sometimes you want something a little bit lighter and more relaxed and happier. I picked up The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. This middle grade fantasy series is full of heart. It focuses on twins who are pulled into their favorite fairy tales and need to find a way home. And I really loved it. I'm going to be posting a full review of this book as well as reading the rest of the books in the series. The only nonfiction book I've read so far is Votes of Confidence, A Young Person's Guide to the American Elections by Jeff Fleischer. It was really accessible to read, and it was easy to understand, and it covers everything from how the American government actually works to being an informed voter and even non-voting actions you can take. I would recommend this book to every American regardless of your age or political involvement. The last book I read in January was the newest Welcome to Night Vale novel, It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. You don't have to listen to the podcast to read this book. It is a standalone story. It was really great to get a different perspective from the strange little town, because as much as I love Cecil, he's an unreliable narrator. This is a mystery about faith and science and focuses on a growing relationship between a scientist and a member of the joyous congregation of the Smiling God. It's creepy, it's clever, and it is completely amazing. I would say my reading goals are the ones that I'm doing the best at achieving. We'll see how that holds up after this reevaluation period. So I'm 1 month and 10 books into the year. How are your goals going? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have any reading recommendations, I am always open to them. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe, watch another video of mine, or support me on Patreon. If you like this video, you might also like the modern Gaffa. And hey, I love you.